back.
This is a really wonderful aesthetic.
Thank you. Thank you. I also have my baby. Hi, I'm Julia from Similar Kind.
So I hear y'all are making new music.
Yeah, we've been we spent the past month because there's no shows to practice for, but we want to practice. We've just spent the past month meeting twice a week and just writing a ton of music and stuff. And then we just began the tracking of it.
So is this like an EP, an album, just a few songs?
We're thinking about it might turn into an album because we already have a few other songs that we tracked that we haven't put out yet. And then the songs that we wrote over this past couple months I think there's 6 of them. So we could honestly make it into an album, and that's what we're hoping to do, so that maybe hopefully at some point either the summer or the end of the year we could release it and then tour on it.
Y'all are sort of between New York and Connecticut. Are you all from the same town? How'd you meet?
So most of us are from Norwalk, Connecticut. That's how I met Ben, and that's how Ben met Miles and Evan. Who they're the guitarist, drummer, and keyboardist of the band. So they all knew each other, and then Ben met me through Instagram and mutual friends. So that's how we got together. And then our bassist Nate, we met him because we were playing a show with a bunch of different bands, and he was in 4 of the bands, and we were like, oh my god, who is this guy? He is amazing. He's so good.
I saw you guys at a show at Union Coffee in Milford, New Hampshire, and I was thoroughly impressed with your music, gave you a follow, and now I've been sort of following your new releases. I really liked that acoustic take of putting these songs together. How did you all work together to do this?
So normally our guitarist Ben, he typically starts it, although not always. But a lot of the times the instrumental process comes down to them jamming on someone's idea, and then they just jam on it for a while and figure out the structure and everything, and that part, the music of it, or the instrumental part of it, is a really collaborative process between the 4 of them. And then when they're done structurally, I will record it in voice memos and then write the lyrics and melody to that. So it's the music or the instrumental comes first and then the lyrics and melody.
Touring, I saw you guys did a So Far session once, I think.
Yeah, we did I think we've done 3 So Fars. We did
3 so far.
Yeah. Yes. We did one in DC. Yeah. One in DC, which was so honestly, I mean, always we did a DC, Boston, and New York. And all of them are so, it's just such a nice, welcoming little community, honestly, because everyone going there just genuinely wants to listen to anyone play, and
it's
so
it's not just a random venue where you get anyone who stumbles in for the night. Do you have a song you'd like to tell us about?
One of our songs, Too Happy, I think it's the most lyrically that I'm proud of, because typically my writing style is more of just me explaining things and not really painting much of a picture, which I'm trying more of. Yeah, it's hard to not just write a ramble of conscious thought, well, I mean, the song is about mental health and mostly depression and just being trapped and stuck in it. And so I used the imagery of a house and I don't know, being trapped and whatever, which can work on a couple of different levels, because
pandemic.
That, yes, definitely. Came out right before the pandemic, which is kind of weird, but it's also very honest. So it's not just cryptic as hell about a house, so it's definitely the most vulnerable I've ever felt putting out a song, which is kind of scary.
Anything strange or silly ever happen on tour?
Strange or silly? Okay, well, here's something that is really strange. This was 2 years ago, so 2 summers ago, and we were in upstate New York playing a show at my dad's friend's house. It's near Rochester. It was like 7 hours away or something.
Finger Lakes kind of area.
Yeah, totally. The area all around him is like open grass, like long ass streets with like no cars, barely any service. It's all like farmland. Um, and so my drummer Miles and I went out and we were like looking at this like basically factory farm. It was like really sad. But we're leaving from there and it was really dark. We start walking away and this little like kitten is following us and like scream meowing at us, and we were like petting him. We were like, okay, like bye, but he just wouldn't stop following us. um and then this car pulls over. It was like a pickup truck. And this guy gets out of the car. And I swear to God, like, I'm not even exaggerating. I could not really see much of him. I could only see his shadow. And his head was, like, slightly tilted. And he was, like, in this, like, crazy ass, like, not crazy, but, like, thick, really thick Southern accent. And he's like, is that cat yours or something? And we were like, uh, yeah, because we were worried he was just gonna like take him or something. Like we were kind of confused. And he was like, are you from around here? And we were like, yeah. Like, because we didn't want to be like, oh no, like we're foreigner, well, not foreigners, but like we're not from here, like we're kind of lost, like I don't know. And he was like, are you sure that's your cat? Like I could take him off your hands. And we were like, no. And he was like, okay, have a good night, and then got in his car and just drove away. But like for that minute, I really thought he was gonna like kidnap us.
Or a question that I like to ask everyone that I interview is if they have some pieces of media, usually about three, that you would recommend. They can be super common things, really uncommon, bizarre things, things you would recommend from the mind of Julia.
I was like looking through Instagram, being like, who do I follow that like consistently like inspires me, I guess. Um, and this one account that I follow called Slimy Oddity, they like make these little, I mean, a lot of the times it's like not infographics, but it's like slides that like, and it has like these little colorful blobs basically with eyes, and they're in like these crazy colorful places. I don't know. And it's like the main message of it is like being very kind to yourself and like opening up your mind and like getting more in touch with like yourself and like the world and everything. And they always have like really cute messages, and the little blobs are very cute. And even though it's like a visual thing, I want to like write songs that sound like it. Like,
This is a
so,
really beautiful recommendation.
well, one thing, this might be a kind of, everyone knows about the 1975, but the other day I was watching their music video for their song Settle Down, which is my favorite song by them. And it's like less of a well-known, I mean, it's not like a hit. It's just like, I don't know. But the video is like so beautiful. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Two kids who are in this like big, like, I don't know, it looks like a more like factory type town. And it's just like weird, like one of the kids low key has like magical powers, but like you also don't really know. And it honestly like doesn't really, you don't watch it and get a concrete answer of what happened. And it's all shot in black and white, but like it's it's just very cool. I like it a lot, and I feel like it's a very underrated video, and also like that's such an amazing song, and I feel like it's very underrated. I always get song recommendations and I'm like, great, because I want song recommendations, and then my brain is just like,
Oh,
I forget.
I keep them in a list. Anything anyone ever recommends to me, I have on a list, and I'm making my way down it slowly.
Yeah, and I do that with like TV shows and movies like all the time. People are like, oh, watch this, and I'm like, oh yeah, I definitely need to watch that. And then when it's time to watch something, I'm like there's nothing to watch. I'm just gonna find the shittiest movie on Netflix that I can find and watch that.
Have you seen Hyper Hard Boiled Gourmet Report? It's amazing.
Whoa. Well, okay, because before how you said like it doesn't necessarily need to be media, it could just be like a recommendation in general.
Yeah.
Like more recently, I have been going on free Craigslist because I've been hella bored just at home.
Mm-hmm.
Um
Craigslist is media.
Craigslist, yeah, okay. Craigslist, that's the piece of media that I highly recommend because free Craigslist, man, I found so much shit on that. Like, I found so much shit. Like, oh, so good. But recently I've been trying to find like fucking like stuffed animals, and I can't bring them into my room because I have like not that much space in my room. So I've just had like mad stuffed animals in my car.
Wait, you're taking people's actual stuffed animals? I feel like that's
Yeah.
like to each their own.
Yeah, I mean, I've had some concerns of people being like, isn't that like not sanitary? But most of the time people are always like washed, like whatever,
Yeah.
and like keep them outside in the box for like a while. So it's not like, it's like safe in that way. And then if they don't specify that they've been washed, like I wash them. So
Yeah.
I'm doing my best to make sure they're very sanitary. But I've just been like keeping them in my car, and honestly, it's really nice to have like a bunch of stuffed animals in your car. So that's something I would
Wait,
recommend.
can we pand them?
Of course. Well, they're kind of in a mess right now because we did a photo shoot and I have a bunch of my clothes back there. But here is a bunch of them in the back.
But thank you so much for interviewing.